Greetings, humanity, and welcome to Channel Otherdoc. I'm Jim. I use he/him pronouns, and this is our campaign of the Ninefox Gambit RPG, a dystopian military sci-fi game based on the machineries of Empire stories by Yoon Ha Lee. We're going to go ahead and go around and say hi to everybody and find out once again who they are and who they're playing. And we will start once again with Pope. Hello.
Hey everybody, Pope here. Pope World Build on all the internets. I'm just getting my dice out. As we get ready to get back with what is quickly becoming a very intriguing sort of 40K beats Exalted in my nerd experience. Jim is doing his best to audition to be an Inquisitor. And the rest of us, his motley crew, we will see which one of us betrays him and which one of us dies for him as we progress.
Not really planning to die for anybody, but I guess we'll see.
Look, you can betray him and then die anyway.
Yeah, why not both? That give.
Again,
¿Por qué no los dos?
technically, us guys do not multitask as well as others. So I'm just trying to play within my limits.
Did you say who you were playing?
Oh yes, I forgot about that. I am playing the jolliest of compliance enforcement for Donah Duncan.
Excellent. And now we're going to head over to Ewan. Hello.
Hello, my name is Ewan. You can find me nowhere in particular. I am playing Nirai Tace, who is part of the sort of mad science wing of the civilization, and mostly just kind of terrified by the company that he's found himself in. That's where I am right now. just trying to make it, man.
Everything's fine. I'm sure everything's fine. And of course, I am playing Rahul Graydon, who is trying to help shepherd humanity into a greater enlightenment. But that said, before we hand things over to our calendar, just as a reminder, you may see us use safety tools from time to time, like we do with the other games on this channel. We're going to be using the X card, N card, and O card. If we hit something that's crossing a line for one of us, any of us can type an X in the Zoom video chat or anywhere else, hold up a card, make an X symbol, and we'll back up and do something else. If something happens that we're okay having in the game, but we don't want a graphic description of it, we can put an N in the Zoom chat and we'll fade to black on it or put it behind a veil, so it'll be there, but we won't go into detail. Finally, if we're exploring a topic or an area of roleplay that's particularly intense for us, but we want to keep going, we can put an O in the chat to let us know we're okay and that we're all good to keep piling on the drama. Something else we can do is put an O with a question mark after it when we're moving into a difficult topic, or if we say or do something and then think, maybe that might have been a little too much, then everyone else can respond to that again with an X, an N, or an O to let us know if we're still doing okay. We're also using the pause. If any of us needs to take some time, we can ask for a pause in the game while we discuss things, or just take a break for as long as anyone needs. As a reminder, just a few content warnings. This game has very dark themes. It has the potential for player versus player conflict depending on choices made, and may contain references to assimilation, brutality, atrocity, capitalism, colonialism, genocide, torture, hegemony, human sacrifice, and imperialism. It's very heavy stuff, so if you need to dip out at any point, absolutely, no problem. We totally understand. If you want to see the content warning list at any time and you're watching live on Twitch, you can go in the chat and type !9CW, that's NINECW, and that will pop up on there in chat. That's also going to be showing up regularly on rotation. Just for... if you happen to be watching in chat, that'll show up every now and then. Finally, please remember we have an open door policy, which means that any of us and any of you can feel free to step away from this at any time if we need to. It is just a game, and mental health is always more important. So now, without further ado, I shall hand things over to our calendar. Hello. Hello.
Hello, I'm Hollow. I am here. I'm all over. I'm not all over the internet. That's a lie. I'm in sprinklings of the internet as Hollow Invective. Last we met, we had uncovered a. Well, I'll tell you about it. In yon distant skies where stars do twist and twirl, a realm of wondrous forms and vexing laws unfurls. Behold the Kel who march perfect in line, their rigid ranks bound by clock and time. In this strange world no man may freely tread, for 'tis not the heart, but calendar doth rule instead. From these dark heavens a tale of treason springs, where captive minds in hollow bodies sings. What strange alliance, what treachery lies near? Shall they prevail, or fall to chaos' spear? Let now the tale of war and mind be spun, where honor, logic, and madness are as one.
My God.
Love it.
I need to step up my recap game. Oh, that's so good.
It's okay. It's like, it's steel sharpening steel. I was like, damn, Jim has these excellent fucking recaps, man. He just comes in, just bam. It's like space, the final frontier. It's like that, you know? It's like,
yeah. But I don't do them in iambic pentameter, so that's
well, I mean, theater nerds are gonna nerd, you know.
That's fair. That's absolutely fair. So I think what were we doing? We were wasn't Duncan setting a trap? Was that where we were leaving off? Something like this?
No. We are currently pre-trap because you have a game to play.
Oh shit! That's right. Hang on, I got the rules up here somewhere.
You said yes to.
I did say yes to that, didn't I?
The guy that came out of freaking nowhere from the darkness pretty much went, "You want to play a game?" And you said yes.
I forgot about that.
Like, the frame up stuff, crap. That's later. First, it's game day, folks. Get your hot dogs.
No, what strange alliance? You know, me wearing my Shuos red.
I hear you think about getting another gray shirt of some kind. So what is our itinerary? What are we looking at?
Well, right now on the ship, you're kind of like in this curve. You're kind of free agents right now. So what you're looking at is a lot of, just like, where do we want to go? You have this plot in your hands. I mean, you've had breakfast recently. It's still mid-morning. You've all conferred with each other. A guy in a well-lit room came out of nowhere and said, "Hey, shit be weird. I know it. Bye." And then, so that's where you're at right now. It's still mid morning. Unless Vidone and Duncan wants to eat an entire Kel's worth of pickled vegetables again.
It is important to our trip that certain things are maintained, and I am here to pick up the slack, but I am not here to Garfield the pickles.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. You get assassinated at the end. Wait, wrong Garfield. Okay. That's it.
Whoops.
Yeah. No, no. Different Garfield. But anyway, let's see. So yeah, I guess I better look at the I guess, Graydon is probably going to be looking at the game rules to figure that out, but also we'll have, just because this is kind of important also, I feel as though looking up in the whatever other file information we have, this file that was opened for us, that we happened to look at. I'm going to start, if I have time. I don't know if I have time, but if I have time, I will do a comparison to what I am able to access. With as far as like, do we have a listing of oh God, let me grab the name here. Let me see, our suspect, who is currently way off at the Pearl Fortress. Maybe, I don't know where he is, but that's where he works out of. Rahal Fowler. Is there any listing of? Is there anywhere where there's like a comprehensive listing of his known descendants, all his known descendants, including ones he wasn't primary on or anything like that, or do we have everything?
I think you have everything right now. I think you have the comprehensive Rahal Fowler guide right now.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, it's not like he's been keeping a secret, but it's been staggered enough that nobody's noticed.
Except perhaps the Shuos.
Yeah.
Right?
No one who has done anything has noticed.
Right.
Okay. So as far as we're aware, then, it's just, and just is doing a lot of heavy lifting in this sentence, but it's just the 3 ships that we're aware of that he has offspring on, I think.
Well, there's the ships, and then there's the two major stations.
Well, I mean, does he have anybody over at Scattered Needles? I didn't see any evidence that he did, unless I'm...
One of his spouses may be there, and they might be in on it.
Wait a minute. I thought that hang on. Let me... Checking, stand by. So... God, I need to organize these notes now. Congratulations. This is the Hollow. This is the first time that I have considered color coding my notes as a player. Just so you'll know.
Excellent.
But let's see. So, because I need to actually draw out this freaking family tree. So previous spouse was Nirai Wen. Nirai Wen is operating at the Fortress of Pearled Hopes. Current contract renewing spouse, which is, let me see. Oh boy, Kel Callisto, is a Banner Moth commander.
Yes.
And was promoted 2 years ago to Low General. So we haven't, I'm not seeing, so that's not necessary. I mean, yeah, and granted, the ships can go anywhere, but I'm not seeing any direct connections to the Fortress of Scattered Needles, aside from the fact that Fowler's planet of origin is there, where the rest of his family that he hates comes from. And he still has holdings on that planet. So it's the same part of space. Okay. Sector, is that the word we're using?
Space, sector, yeah, it's kind of interchangeable in the world.
So that's where they have, these, that's where he's got the most connections. So but I don't see him having any. I haven't seen any connections of him having actual people with a direct connection to him over there. Yet. That is fair. I have not done as thorough a search yet on Kel Callisto. We know that Kel Callisto is the granddaughter of Andon Maladano, of Andon Maladano, who is, I think that was the festival coordinator under the Andon Hexarch. But I don't know how much. We don't yet know how in on it Kel Callisto is. I expect, though, if they're renewing their contract, it would be awfully hard to operate without knowing certain things. Kel Callisto's kid is the kid that he had. Who did he have with Kel Callisto? Is that Wallabies? Kel Scarlet and Kel Emil?
Yep.
Okay. We know of the. Okay. Kel Scarlet, Kel Emil, and Kel Humphrey is also the child of Rahul Fowler. Wait a minute. Kel Humphrey, Kel Scarlet, Kel Emil. Do they all have the same mother, or is that all three of those Kel?
They do not have the same mother.
Okay.
No.
Because there were just like groupings that Fowler contributed to genetically.
Yeah.
Just,
but,
not necessarily under a marriage contract. Okay. So, I did. I gotta figure out if. Okay, yeah, there is a thing. I am gonna have to send something up the chain. I was worried about it until I found out more. Alas, that I wasn't necessarily supposed to know. And the thing being that because again, we've uncovered. Okay, I have a quick world universe question. Are all illegal actions considered heresies, or are illegal actions separate from heresies?
Illegal actions are separate from heresies until they can be called heresies. That makes sense?
Yes, understood. Because I mean, what he's doing right now, very illegal, but I haven't yet seen anything inherently heretical necessarily. Aside and the only potential thing, the only place we come close to that is this secondary calendar, which I assume that's heretical.
Oh yeah. That's probably heretical. Yeah.
Yeah, that goes from small h heresy to big H heresy.
You just don't have the link to the. We just haven't definitively proven. We know that it's. I mean, we know it's related to the gum due to visions that I've had, or that I had rooting around in.
That poor unfortunate Kel.
Head, yeah.
Those poor unfortunate Kel.
Who was I? That was Kel Blaine.
Yes.
Did we look into Kel Blaine?
Who is now in an isolation cell?
Yes, he is now in an isolation cell. Nothing wrong with gum, right?
Did Did we check on the lineage of Kelblain? I forget.
No, we have not.
Can I pull up Kelblain in my? I'm trying to remember the term for it. The thing in our head.
Oh, the augment.
The augment. Yes, there it is. See if we know who Kelblain's parents are and all of that, their connections.
Okay. So, Kel Blaine, he comes from a Kel family, by the way. So his parent is Kel Varys. They rose to prominence as a tactician, but was best known for their role in the defense of Bramble Fortress.
This would be Kel Varys, known for defending Bramble Fortress. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so they have a very flexible approach to command, but still rigidly adheres to formation instinct. This blend of adaptability and loyalty became a real hallmark for their family and was something that was emphasized in raising Blaine.
Okay. Important question then. Are there any? Is there a listing of any other DNA that was contributed to Kel Blaine?
All right, pulling up. I'm using Obsidian for all my notes. All right, so the other side of his family is distinctly Shuos.
Don't like it.
What's that?
Said don't like it.
Are there any important names that ring bells, or is it just basically just these are people we don't know?
So their parent is his name is Shuo. Well, their most recent parent is on their most recent Shuo's parent is redacted. However, their Shuo's grandparent is Shuos Kyren, who was known for manipulating outcomes in a scenario called the Veiled Negotiations of Outer Stars.
Okie doke. Is the Veil of Outer Stars something we need to know about?
Nope, that's just a blurb. Just, it was a very tense negotiation with an outside faction called the Kamosh. Just, kind of some in-world stuff.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool. All right. So Kel Varys, though, then would recently Kel Varys was recently found guilty of heresy, right? That was within the last year or so, right? That was because Blaine was talking about his family.
Yep. Seems like their family has a very powerful legacy to uphold, and his parent, his direct Kel parent, being placed placed in chains for heresy is a big blow to his ego, obviously.
So checking in on Calvaris, does it say anything about the nature of the heresy in question?
That is also redacted.
Okay. I mean, it's important to know these things. At least, at least that's there. Okay. So. Oh no. All right. No. Again, there are potential things, spaces on the board that may or may not deserve yarn, and so I'm just checking that out. So I just need to. I need to check on one or two more sort of knowledge things. So, first off, is Bramble Fortress also on a border?
Bramble Fortress is not on the border. It's actually an inner Nexus fortress, but there were several revolts that happened around Bramble Fortress.
Really? How long ago was the most recent revolt that happened around Bramble Fortress?
Let's see here. I mean, define revolt.
Oh. Well, I mean, I significant revolt as in
100 people, 2 people, a whole planet of people. What's your limit on revolt here?
I would think it would be shows up on the front page of the newspaper.
Sure. Then the most recent revolt that would show up on any of the news networks would be 6 months ago.
I don't know if we can look at a timeline. I don't know if timelines are things that we can actually. Does that by any chance? When was Calvaris shackled? I believe.
Hot dog. It was 4 months ago.
About 4 months ago. Okay. Yeah. When did Calvaris defend Bramble Fortress?
Well, Calvaris defended Bramble Fortress about a year ago.
About a year ago?
Yeah, about a year ago.
And the revolts were happening close to then beforehand? Is that when they were kind of starting? It's
always been a troubled area. So that particular area of the Hexarchate has always been kind of troubled because it was the one piece of there was a portion of this encroaching people call it a disease that comes from this place called the Gua reality, which is the people who live there are they're just weird. It's hard to even classify them as people in the Hexarchate sense. I mean, sure they walk, sure they talk, sure they have heads, they have 2 feet, they have legs and arms, but they don't conduct business in any way that the Hexarchate really respects. So you can't really call those people people. What happened was that the Gua reality actually had sent a number of false refugees to this area and sort of stirred up a lot of dissent, with their own doctrine, with their own things. And this sort of happened suddenly for, say, 10 years. Right? And as that occurred, the second, third, fourth, fifth, a 29th order effects of this thing happening is that this area is a little unstable socially because there are people who are born and who were born who still remember, those teachings. Some people are still born in this area instead of creche born. So people have a chance to directly impart some of their values, wherever they happen to have gotten them. And the Vidona find it especially difficult in their education efforts. I think Vidona educator once said, "Damn it, it just doesn't stick."
Oh no. Okay. All right. Good. That's good to know.
So nothing like, terrifying, just a trouble spot,
Doesn't stick.
We might have to just like nuke that place and start over. We'll
the only way to be sure.
If it weren't for the Nexus Fortress being there, well, it's not even Nexus, it's a small fortress. It's like a small outpost fortress. If it weren't even like for the sake of it being there, they probably would have done it already.
I see. And so, the Gua reality, this is the local population to that area, yes?
No,
or are they?
Well, no, they are people who showed up.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, they showed up and from wherever they come from.
Okay, I gotcha. But it's a movement that popped up there of people who are coming into,
Yes, they are a people who deal in. You think you would get along with the Hexarchate? They deal in high intrigue, but all of their intrigue and all of their social, genuflecting involves the usage of pheromones and poisons and perfumes.
And okay, so this is a group that the Hexarchate has international relations with. Is that what we're talking about?
I mean, they know they exist. They find them to be a problem because they're not like us.
Yeah.
But it's not uncommon from diplomats that have come from the Gua reality for poison duels to happen out in the open.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, you disrespected me about my dish last night. We're fighting about it, and then they have a poison/disease duel in the middle of the gallery.
Okay.
I do not need Nurgle duels in the hallway.
Okay. Well, that's fascinating as well. I want to. God. First of all, I don't want to. I want to try not to take up too much more time here that could go to other people, because I understand that there's a lot of burrowing that one could burrow forever into this. I have a feeling. But the last thing I'm gonna ask about right now is so okay. I kind of needed to know that. Oh boy. Okay. Yeah, there was another thought that I had, but I'm going to leave it alone for right now, because there's too much. Scattered Needles is near a border. Whose space is that nearby?
That Scattered Needles is closest to the Hafen, Hafn.
Oh, them too. Okay.
The Hafen are nomads, but the two biggest roving, bands of the Hafen occupy both sides of the border.
Okay, that's what I was wondering about, because it's like that was also Pearl. It was
Hafen, the Hafen are a constant issue.
Okay,
because they're big enough in numbers to actually challenge the Hexarchate if they committed. They are weird. No one actually can get a hold of their technology to see how weird they are, but they're pretty sure it's fucking weird over there. Whatever they do.
The horrible cross reference that I must now do, just based on what information we have publicly, is in the interest of rooting out heresy. Do we know about any sort of collaborations between the Hafen and the Gua reality?
They do not get along. Their usage of poison, and and usage of pheromones and like things like that to just casually fight one another and to maneuver around one another is fairly disgusting for the Hoffman. That is known.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Good. Good. Or very bad. For other reasons. So that's either very good or very bad. Okay. All right. So therefore, the thing I'm gonna have to kick up the chain involves remember a little while ago I said I might need to see if we have anything on calendrical patterns around the Fortress of Pearled Hopes. And you told me I would need to get that from a higher Rahal or from someone above my pay grade, basically, to send that information from Pearled Hopes down. I'd need to put in that request. And the reason I feel like it might be useful to put in that request is because I wanted to see if we have any. I'm looking for heresies, basically. So that we can deal with them. So do I have, this is important. Do I have any superiors I am in communication with outside of this ship that are hopefully not a member of the family that we're dealing with?
You are fairly certain that your direct mentor, is more than likely not a member of this level of shenanigans you have dealt with.
Okay. So I feel as though, didn't we say something about how about us needing to do something with communication to make sure it wasn't getting
we part of the reason we wanted you to play the game was to make the Shuos happy, to see if we couldn't further parlay that into getting some help between both what Taste can do and what they can do to have better encryption when we hit the next signal buoy.
Understood. Okay. Good. So I'm just going to prepare a report for that occasion, and then I'm going to learn the game, hopefully, and see what I can deal with respect to that. That's what I'm doing. I yield the rest of my time.
All right. So who's next?
Duncan, go for it.
Okay. Like a lot of what I want to do kind of hinges on how the game gets played, but in the meantime, definitely want to sort of clear my interrogation room and see how my requests for interviewing the entire crew is going, and when I can start them interviews. As no, I'm going to. We're everything is a reference with me. We're going to Jack the Ripper B5. I want to get everyone in the room, and we are going to go through the many steps of enlightenment. And I am going to find whatever small h or big H heresies are going on aboard this vessel. I'm going to find out. I am here to make certain that I have everyone aboard this vessel oversharing with me.
Because of your kind and graceful demeanor, and not at all scary.
I am the most pleasant person on board.
The most pleasant. So where do you go first on your campaign?
Well, no, I'm just.
Oh, you're bringing.
through the augment, I'm just going, because I already sort of like twisted the commander's arm. I'm just going to send a message like, "Hello, Commander. I just wanted to see how my request for interviewing your entire crew is coming along. I have gotten everything that I need currently to conduct the interviews within my interrogation."
Oh, right. Right. The chats you were going to have.
Yes.
Well, I have a few members of the command staff who are available to chat if you are.
Oh, I am ready and excited to get this started.
Oh, all right. I will send them down to you.
Oh,
Yep.
I just need one right now.
One.
I tend to be thorough. I'll let you know when I need the next one.
Okay, you need one, right?
If they all come at once, like it just gets too busy. I like to have something conduct my interviews in a very private and intimate manner. It avoids groupthink.
I see. Groupthink, right? All right. They will send down the first officer.
Fantastic. It make things as Spartan but pleasant in here. And before they arrive, I will have wheeled in a large futuristic steamer trunk full of tools.
I thought you were gonna say like a little daisy in a vase on the on the table on the side. No.
People might have allergies. This room must be kept hypoallergenic.
Oh my god.
So everything's clean. Just in case there is a disagreement, I am going to make sure that there is a clear vinyl tarp on the ground and the furniture. Cleanliness is important.
Okay. The first officer is Kel Danis. They will they will in about 10 minutes reach your chat room for chats.
Yes.
They are a femme formed Kel, brown skin, one ponytail that goes down their back. They are wearing the Kel golden black.
Greetings, Commander. Please have a seat.
I see that you asked. Here that you asked to see some of us.
Oh, I'm going to see all of you before we end up in the Atma.
I see. Okay. Well,
Just as we start, I like to make certain everyone is very comfortable. So if you please empty all of your pockets.
sure. Knife, gun, knife. Now, could you define pockets? Uh, but down to Duncan, it was. Yes. Could you define
Yeah.
pockets?
But again, anything that I don't want them like. I want this to be as pleasant as possible. And it's very hard to conduct a comfortable interview if anyone is sitting on their keys.
Oh,
Um,
comfortable as possible. They put their gun back.
Like, again, I don't want anything to necessarily interfere with how they can relax the body. Again, it's the small, subtle things that part of having a conversation is the body language. And if anything were to interfere with that, I might unfortunately misread something.
I see. Well, this is what I have in my pockets, and they're like, a slip, a small data pad, a Kel ration bar, sesame flavored, and a taro flavored Kel ration bar.
Okay. No gum.
Why would I have gum?
I'm glad you asked. There's something very peculiar with this ship. As commander, I'm certain that you are um, very aware of the regular duty rosters, as well as any pending demotions or promotions for this vessel. Did you know
Yeah,
this vessel has 2 quartermasters?
I'm aware. I can only work at the speed of Kel High Command.
I understand that. Now, the thing of it is that there seems to be some contraband aboard this vessel, the gum in question. And
Gum, calf smokes, coffee tabs. You pick
oh,
something.
so you're saying there's more contraband aboard this vessel?
I'm saying that you have soldiers. I'm saying you have soldiers who are off world and get, respite on, who are off world and you get some amount of respite. There's going to be some level of odds and ends here and there. That's what I'm saying.
So you're saying discipline aboard this vessel is lax?
No, I'm saying that there's a certain level of, how should I put this? A certain level of, discrepancy that occurs at any level of command.
I'm not used to that.
I am used to ensuring that people are happy enough to consider the non-Kel around them.
Hmm. I can see that this is a cultural thing. So I will definitely keep that in mind. Um, with that being the case, and being somebody who is of the command crew, I think you are certainly aware of the relation between your captain and the current promotee.
There's been some scuttlebutt about that. I tend to not deal in rumor. It can become a very disgusting habit. Much like gum.
Yes, there seems to be a number of disgusting habits aboard this vessel.
That's unfortunate.
Yes.
But you're here to clean them up. So,
Oh, most definitely. I am here to make certain that this crew and this vessel is operating at peak efficiency.
I'm glad you're here, Redona.
I'm glad to hear that. Um, as such, there seems to be a breakdown in discipline, and I'm trying to find where that starts.
A serious breakdown in discipline, like people missing drill.
No, again, there is things that are clear violations of discipline that, again, everyone is very aware of. One of the reasons why myself and my fellows exist is we look for the smaller faults in things.
Mm-hmm.
It's sort of like when a building begins to settle and the builders were not thorough. There may be breaks in trusses that seem very minor, hairline fractures, but
I see.
if neglected can cause catastrophic failure.
I see. You are still young enough to be reading the book. I get it.
Oh, it's not just youth. It's more along the lines of my path. I'm part of this team due to the fact that my teaching methods were considered too thorough.
I see. Well, I think that what you are calling lax in discipline is judgments that are being upheld by Kel High Command. They, in fact, did sign off on these orders. They, in fact,
they signed off on the gum?
On the gum. Oh, you want to sign off on the gum. Well, so find the people who are bringing the gum. How do we do that? How do we find the gum bringers so we can get the gum out of here?
The thing is, it doesn't start with that. Again, you have probably never taught. It's an unruly student can disrupt an entire class, but oftentimes the disruption caused by said student is due to environmental factors at play.
Well, in Kell Academy, we beat the shit out of that guy. So, again, where's the gum coming from?
Yes,
so I can put hammer to nail.
And that would probably involve considering distribution, making sure to sign off on things and keeping records, as well as the permission, knowledge of the vessel, etc., would fall among the quartermaster's staff. And the fact that there are two, due to possible familial entanglements.
So we are back to an issue of Kel High Command. Yes?
No. Command is a cover. The issue goes with parents. And the parents aboard this vessel are the command staff. A bad parent makes for a bad child. Bad child makes a bad student. And a bad student threatens the calendar.
So your parents were ultimately good.
Oh, my parents are, how do I put this? They are shining stars amongst our planet.
I'm so happy for you. I'm happy that you can have that privileged position.
The thing about privilege is it's one part merit and one part the system. And my parents instilled in me humility. It's one of my most charming traits.
I see. So you came from an excellent pedigree and you have vaunted yourself by merit alone, to your prestigious teaching accolades and to brushing up dust on this ship. All right.
Oh, no. It's because I have this nasty habit of finding something wrong and pursuing it until its very end that I am here.
You know,
You
someone's
see-
going to use that against you because they hate you one day. You realize that, right?
I don't really encounter anyone with hate in their heart for me. I am absolutely polite and charming. And almost anyone who resents me is dead.
Ah, there's that privilege talking again. The privilege of just being able to murder as you please. That is a privilege, you realize.
No. It's not a privilege. It's a responsibility.
I mean, call it as you please. I mean, you have the ability to take your detractors and put them where they are, in the ground, in processing.
See, processing is a chance. It is a chance to confront one's own truth. Just like this interview, it's a chance for us to confront truth.
So
Reveal.
when are you getting there?
Again, it's a process. I see that you are not familiar with the 1,000 steps to enlightenment. You probably
No,
know
just
50.
just one step of enlightenment. Fist. That's about it.
I see. Fists.
Fists, duels, that sort of thing.
At fist, his face almost, the smile is almost unnaturally broad. There's a moment, I can't even produce it physically myself, a level of Willem Dafoe manic glee that comes across the face when he says fist. No, again, the part of getting to the truth is a journey. It's one that takes time, patience, like a sniper. One must be able to endure distraction, endure discomfort, endure embarrassment. And in that blessed moment, take the shot. So,
could you
tell me
roll sort of like a perception against them? Something is odd to you, but you're not picking up on what.
Something's off, yes. There's a level of non-compliance that it bothers me. So we get 3 to start.
Yep.
I am definitely living in a world made of cardboard. I can't say I've been overly kind. I've been more threatening. So I guess that kind of opens all guys. But the question of loyalty is here, and loyalty to the Hex Archy is the highest virtue. So I'll say I have 5. If that makes sense. Clock's at 3. Okay, that is 4 successes. Fortunately, no 6s.
Okay, 4 successes. You know, you're no psych surgeon, but you've witnessed a lot of Kel, in your lifetime. You know, you've seen Kel, you've seen them march, you've watched them, and you're pretty sure this isn't Kel body language.
What kind of body language would it be?
It's non-Kel. It's not like Kel have a very specific body language because of formation instinct and the psych surgery goes into it. It's imprinted on them. So they all kind of have it. Even if they're different people, they've got some like underlying currents that cannot be, thrown off. this person's acting like a Kel, but there's just something wrong. Like, are they like, and now there's some answers to that you could formulate. Like, are they a crash hawk? Which means formation instinct didn't stick, which is fucked up if they made it this far.
Yeah. That is an anomaly that should not be allowed to happen.
Right. They could be a crash hawk. They could be an impersonator from a completely different faction.
Yeah. I have a question about sort of the in-world things.
Sure.
Like, again, there are certain cultures, certain supernatural fabled history. We're dealing with like high-level tech that emulates magic.
Yes.
And we're dealing with a ingrained sort of instinct.
Yes.
That is instilled within these individuals. Is there anything that I could do in this moment? Sort of like the dropping grains of rice on the ground for some fey creature or vampire to count, to just kind of confirm whether or not this is in fact a Kel.
I mean, you could try and call me with the commander and see how they react. They would have to try and fake the formation instinct zone out, which is very hard to fake. You could call their superior officer and get them to walk in here. That's like the biggest like tell right there. It's not really a grand right. You right now you know that they're faking it, but the root movements are wrong. But to best call them out would be to try to make them submit to the effects of formation instinct in a gross way, which would be having a superior officer just ask them to do something.
I want to do this in a very as subtle as I can.
Sure.
In this moment. And I am just with my augment as I take out from my thing I just go like, give me one moment. Take out a pad of paper. I put a pen, and again, everything is just so. But that pantomime is buying me time as I'm using my augment, and I just messaged the captain. I hate to be such a bother, but could you, at this moment, ask the commander to stand up, please? And that's through my augment. I'm not actually saying anything.
Sure. So in this moment, I'm going to let your force testers kind of carry over. You see them sort of like, like have that moment where they're like not quite looking at you, and they stand up and they're trying their best to act like they are being asked, because it's not a counter command, but it's such an odd command that like, but a Kel would obey, right?
Yeah.
And they're trying to fake the throes of formation instinct from a superior officer. The effect is much more pronounced if they're in person, but it's still there. They're still known as a superior officer. And they're trying to fake that as best they can.
Authority grants privilege, as you say. But authority is no substitute for truth. And you are a very bad liar. So, did the instinct not take, or would you like to reintroduce yourself on the record?
Okay, I guess we all can't be as perfect as you, Vidona Duncan. No, I am who I say I am, but it didn't take. I've just been getting by.
That is what we say in building. Shoddy workmanship. One that can cause a building to collapse. This is not someone who is part of maintenance staff. You are a commander aboard this vessel. And I have a far less discerning eye than those above me. So something is very wrong. Would you like to tell me what else is wrong aboard this vessel?
What else is wrong? I mean, hell, I mean, the recap machine doesn't work. I mean, not properly, right? I think we're running low on pickles, or somebody's eating them all.
One doesn't recycle pickles.
You know, the practice swords are out, or haven't been calibrated in what, 2 months? Do this quartermaster debacle.
Yeah, the calendar works because the system works. And there's a problem aboard this vessel in that there is someone who is trying to be exquisitely subtle and trying to circumvent the calendar with a new one. One that allows the system to be broken or ignored.
That sounds even above my pay grade. Hell, that sounds above your pay grade. Shit.
Yes, but you know, ambition has a way of circumventing one's limits. And there's a lot of ambitious people aboard this vessel.
I haven't had the luxury of being ambitious, just good enough at my job.
No, you don't get to command without ambition. There are plenty of people who are perfectly happy being chiefs and master sergeants for their entire careers. You're not one of them. Not only that, you've been lying to yourself and this crew and society for some time.
Fuck you. I'm Kel. Fuck that.
You are Kel in name only.
You know, the history say there was a time when we weren't even like this. So, who's to say I'm not Kel?
Unfortunately, the calendar says you are not Kel.
No, somebody says I'm not Kel. I can stand.
Crash Hawk.
Look, I stand in formation just like everyone else. I produce formation effects just like everyone else. I know my pivots, damn it. Despite all of this, I have chosen to be Kel, which makes me more Kel than anyone here, because they are Kel because somebody jabbed a needle in them. And if being Kel is what's in the needle, then it's no Kel at all.
Being Kel is part of the process. It is a process, just like everything. And I can see your passion. I respect it. But passion alone does not a Kel make. And even fraction of a second's hesitation in a moment brings tragedy. And the world is too fragile to let passion alone ensure its safety. I am giving you an opportunity, good sir. This is an excellent time to prove yourself and prove your mettle and resign. I do not need to file any reports. There does not need to be anything to kill our command. You can resign.
So when I walk out of this room, everybody's gonna know I'm a fucking crash hog, huh?
If you don't take the honorable way out, I am forced by that impeccable breeding and my duty to report everything. And then, pending upon choices of command, not just of yours, but of mine, your fate and the fate of those who have signed off on your career to this point, you are a domino on a precipice. And every failure that has led you to command, those need to be cleansed as well, because those would be seen as the system as faults in command. I am giving you a chance to possibly save not just the people you know, but hundreds, maybe even thousands of others. If you are Kel, resign.
They look at you for a moment and says, if this system can't accept me as I am, because and it cannot accept the choices I've made to be a part of this system, I hope this whole fucking system rots. And they pull a gun and put it to their temple.
You don't need to do that.
I am Kel, and I will die a Kel. Click. And they spray, they fall over on the ground in front of you.
Now, with the augments, do they have a record function?
I mean, some do, yeah. I mean, yours probably does.
I've been recording this entire time.
Sure.
What a pity. But this confirms that the rot is deeper than I thought.
Rot's pretty deep.
Captain, I regret to inform you that on the duty roster, you are going to need to permanently remove Keldanis.
The fuck happened down there? The fuck happened down there? Are all these talks gonna go like this?
You had a crash hawk as your first officer. You tell me.
Dennis was no fucking crash hawk.
He admitted it himself. I have it recorded.
No, it doesn't make sense. We did evaluations this year.
There is a fault in the system, and it is throughout this vessel, Captain. Give me 20 minutes to clean up my interrogation, after which I will need the next interviewee. Thank you.
All right. As this person is on the ground, out of the top of their uniform, right behind their badge, a small little how I put this, a small round metal capsule falls out.
I put on gloves. Cleanliness is next to godliness. And I will retrieve a set of tweezers and an evidence bag, and I will go and pick up. And through my augment, Narite, I need you at the interrogation room at your earliest convenience. If you are at all squeamish, I suggest you bring an emesis bag with you.
Okay. Yeah, I just on my way.
Thank you.
Yeah. Jesus Christ, I'm so scared of you. Fuck. Anyway, all right, well, I guess that's on me. So, I mean that conversation didn't actually take that long, so I'm gonna
Really.
I'm gonna guess I didn't get very far. If Graydon was looking up the rules of Jiangzai?
Looking up the
Was
rules
Yes.
was looking at the rules of the game, I think.
Oh,
Yeah, it was
which
the-
the different game, right? The Shuos game. Okay,
Shuos
okay,
game,
okay.
new Shuos game.
I couldn't remember. Okay.
The Phantom and the
Um,
Hunter.
Yes. Okay. So you were doing that probably, in your own world, and I was, I guess, I'm trying to think. I think I skipped dinner. Maybe I would just go down to the kind of nearby common area real quick and like pick up a snack or something. They've
You
got,
skipped breakfast.
Well, because I was thinking, yeah, because it's like mid-morning or whatever. I can't remember. Sorry, it's been a couple of weeks. I can't remember exactly. I think I would just go. Uh, I go back to my quarters probably. I've got some snacks stashed there. So I'm just like sitting down, and I've got like maybe a far superior Nirai ration bar or something for these long Kel missions on Kel ships. And I just take a big bite of it, and I have my little tube of gum, and I just kind of set it on the table in front of me. And I'm like reaching out to maybe do something with it when I get the call from Fedona Duck, and I'm like, oh shit, like I wasn't doing anything, it's fine, okay, and so I guess I pack there's got to be like, I don't know, barf bags in each cabin or whatever, just in case of weird maneuvers or whatever. So I grab one of those, because I have no idea what's gonna what I'm walking into, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna be bad. And I head down there.
Currently just to give you the day of the week is the day of Ember and the hour of the Blade.
Sounds cool. Well, as long as there's no current observance or anything, I'm just just making my way down to.
No,
yeah.
I just finally got the granular details of like hours of the day, hours of the day, days of the week, that sort of thing.
Okay, so I head down to the insurance. I put the gum in my pocket again. I head down to the interrogation room, and I just kind of Beep, 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 the door open, and I just kind of stand there. There's just like
You
there's
see Duncan like
plastic.
bent over, folding the plastic over the Kel, essentially making a death burrito um,
Body
out
bag.
of the vinyl tarp, and
Oh shit.
then getting, because of course in the chest I have a supply of body bags,
Oh, of course.
and proceeding to take one out as you come in. Oh, right, Ace. Thank you for promptly coming here. There's a curiosity in a little plastic bag on the table that I would love for you to take a look at.
Uh, okay. What do I do I have clearance to know what happened here?
Oh, um, apparently the commander was a crash hulk, and when it was brought up in conversation, he self-terminated.
Oh, that's wild. Okay, well, I'll just go over here and check out this anomaly. Can I like pick up the bag and just like, it's this little capsule you said?
Yeah.
Is it like it might have something in like if I shake it, like is there anything in it that I can tell?
It's like the size of a button battery, but it's clearly meant to open, almost
Oh,
like
okay.
a little Pac-Man hinge.
Okay. Interesting. Well, I just say looks like it has a little hinge here. Did you see if there's anything in it?
Oh no, that is technically for all intents and purposes until all of the paperwork clears evidence in a what may later be classified as a murder.
Oh. Um, well, would you like me? I'm not sure if I'm supposed to handle it then. Like, are you
Oh
asking
no,
me to run an analysis or?
this is part and course of our assignment.
Oh,
As again, you're investigating an anomaly, and I would say that a crash hawk making all their way up to being a commander is an anomaly, wouldn't you?
I mean, near eye gossip. We're on all the ships. I think it might be more common than the Kel would have everyone understand. But
That's
but
troubling.
I don't know. I don't know this person. I have no idea their history or anything. But I will I guess I'll take this back to I didn't sorry, I didn't you kind of caught me having a snack. I just kind of ran down here. I didn't bring my
Oh,
instruments, so
I have
I
some
could take it.
spare Kel ration bars if you want.
Oh no, I've got like I pull out this like wrinkled like half snack bar or whatever. I'm like, no, I've got it. I just you just kind of caught me on wrong foot. So you want me to just take this back to the lab setup?
Yeah, no, please
I'm
have it analyzed. Just be careful to be thorough in your cleanliness with this analysis. Um, it also may need to be scanned for prints or other material, as well as having everything identified so that can go in the report. Because currently, everyone who is on this vessel is going to chalk this up to a tragic accident. I don't believe in accidents, Tess. This isn't an accident. This was on
okay.
purpose.
Okay.
And as such, should be treated as a murder. As to who is responsible for this murder, that is going to take some time.
But
I
okay.
would suggest hydrating more and definitely making certain that whatever is on your stomach is something that is not volatile. I am interviewing a lot of people over the next couple of days, and I have a feeling this is going to be a scene that is not unique on our trip.
I mean, I guess for everybody's sake, I hope it is unique because we're gonna run out of officers real quick, right? I'm just
The Cal
gonna.
are great at filling in gaps. It's just the bureaucracy seems to drag their feet, but we can expedite things if they become a problem.
Well, Kel and their reputation for suicidal bravery or suicidal acts in general. Yeah, I know. I agree. There may be more of this. I would hope that that you are not driving them to.
Oh
No,
no, I'm not a driver. I am a catalyst, right?
Okay. Yeah, no. I like I was starting, like out of character. I was starting to articulate something like, and then I was like, no, we're not that kind of like familiar. We're not friends. We're that's no. Okay, I can't say that. Okay. I'll run this over to the lab right away.
Thank you so
I'll do
much.
that right now. Got my
We'll
ration bar and everything.
unfortunately be in touch. Have a good day.
Okay. Thanks. You too. Yeah. I just get the hell out of there as fast as I can. Um, yeah, I will take this capsule over to my lab setup. Hey, I know I left it running a deep analysis on the components of the weird sap that we found in the gum.
Mhm.
I guess I was looking mainly for like, I guess hallucinogens and stuff after I had that weird dream. When I tried it myself. But like, any kind of, someone else said muscle relaxant or whatever. So like I'm looking for all kinds of pharmacological possibilities.
The gum itself, um, the entire structure itself doesn't lead itself to be psychotropic in any way. It's a very complex piece of psych surgery. Portable psych surgery. So I mean,
Delivered
I guess
by an oral route.
it is psychotropic in the fact that it induces things, but those things are induced via cylindrical means.
Okay. So it's like an exotic effect somehow.
It is an exotic
That's
effect.
that's very strange. I'm gonna restart that analysis because that seems ridiculous. That does not seem possible to me. So I need to double
Sure.
check
Yep.
and thus stall for time further. Anyway, I'm gonna look at this metallic capsule and see what the hell's going on here. I'm gonna glove up, and I'll repeat the tweezers maneuver. I get in there the tweezers and I kind of lay it out on a little kind of electronics desk area. And I just kind of try to like kind of tease it open with a couple of my tools.
All right. So the first thing you notice when you open it is that there is some crazy microscript on this on this tablet inside this capsule. It's actually a tablet, like a little like a pill tab.
Okay.
It's very flat. It's very flat. It's has a very matte very matte coloration, like matte black coloration, but there is crazy amounts of microscript in the high language on in this sort of like iridium colored, this like iridescent colored like shift on the tablet.
Okay. So this is before I even open it or anything?
Oh, this is when you open it.
Oh, okay.
Like on the tablet itself, there's a tablet inside of this little case.
Oh, okay. So it's a little metal case and there's this little tablet inside it. Okay. All right. Well, that's not what I expected. I guess I'll stick it under whatever magic future version of a microscope we have. Throw it on a throw it through some scans and stuff and see what I can pull up in my augment.
Sure.
Like,
There
is
are
this?
It starts off with like as you like go in like magnify, enhance.
Right.
It starts off with a lot of Kel catechisms,
Okay.
and then a shorthand of lexicon primary,
Okay.
which is the main lexicon where Kel get a lot of their maneuvers from. Lexicon primary is like where battle formations come from. Lexicon primary is like for parade bull crap and retired formations.
It's like I was gonna say it's like a sports playbook or something. It's got okay. So that's that seems pretty this is a weird little kind of I don't know, cheat sheet or something, but it's all fairly standard Kel stuff. So nothing really weird there. Is there anything else on it, or like I flip it over?
There's a micro scene as you like enhancing in this tablet. Like there are two. This tablet has 2 layers.
Okay.
Enhance.
Okay. And what is the micro scene?
Well, if you actually use any like tools to try it opens. And on the backside of this is lexicon, or like shorthand for lexicon secondary, and a wad of sap.
So the tablet also opens?
Yes.
Oh, a seam. Okay, sorry, I didn't quite understand what you said.
There's a
tiny seam.
Like,
okay.
Jim's over there like, no, the gum. It has returned.
So I take a extremely tiny sample of the sap, and I start running an analysis on that too, although I'm pretty sure I know what it is, this mystery goo, but this can't be a coincidence, so I'm just gonna start analysis, but I'm pretty sure what's going on here. I will I guess just zip my preliminary findings to Duncan, because I want to, be seen as following orders as, as rigidly as possible, since this person terrifies me. And then I'm just gonna kind of add a little note, like I'm gonna take a little meal break. If you need me, I'll be in my quarters while these analyses run. And I'm gonna go back to my quarters with my half a ration bar, and I'm gonna slap down the ration bar, and I'm gonna pull out this thingy of gum. and I got my gum. I'm gonna pop another gum. I want to see what happens.
Hey.
And we could break here if you want, but
Yep. Let's break here. You've popped the gum. Bang, bang, bang.
I just love that our most significant evidence is stuff we're just sort of just handing over to the one who's the most compromised, and we have no idea. It's beautiful.
Evidence?
Isn't that just the way in a sci-fi horror? The guy with all the stuff.
Yep.
At this point, like, Taste should just have that puffy like vest in orange, and on the back of it should say Raylan Utani.
I'm just performing my own independent investigation. It's fine.
Well, yeah. Well, earlier Duncan said this is either coming from the very bottom or the very top, and or near the very top or near the very bottom, and I think we figured it out which direction it's coming from. Oh my God. So there's a lot happening in my brain right now. So I shall not burden you poor folks who are watching with that. So we're going to go ahead and take a break
Sure.
while our brains reset. And I'm going to throw on an interview. Hopefully I've got the things to work. It's from a little while ago. And we shall return shortly and see what more delights await us as we continue to peel back the layers of this onion. Take care, folks. We'll see you shortly. Welcome to the break. I am here once again with James Introcaso, writer and game designer. Greetings, sir. Greetings.
Greetings. Good to see you, Jim. Good to see you.
Good to see you. And you are the creator of Burn Bright, which is a system that is out primarily for folks using Roll20. And I was wondering if you could talk to us about it a bit. Tell us a little bit about Burn Bright, if you would.
Sure, yeah. So Burn Bright, which Roll20 published, right? So they are the publisher and owner, and that's why it's available exclusively on their platform, is a science fantasy RPG that they asked me, along with several other people, Cat Cool, Darcy Ross, and Jim McClure, to create for them. It uses a lot of the bells and whistles of Roll20, but you can actually play it at a table. You still need Roll20 to access the rules, but you could do everything else analog if you wanted to. It takes place in the Olaxis galaxy, which very well may be the last galaxy in existence, because there is this phenomenon that surrounds the galaxy on all sides called the burn. It's like this orange aurora, kind of northern lightsy looking thing that slowly closes in on all sides, and as it touches and overtakes planets, space stations, people, everything it touches disappears, never seen or heard from again. And so that creates a lot of problems, resource shortages, refugee crises, lots of people and places suddenly disappearing, greedy corporations profiting, all of that kind of stuff. And the players take on the role of heroes, right? A lot of times in these post-apocalyptic stories, we see people say like, well, what will this do to us? Will this turn us into monsters? And Burn Bright says, you are people who say, no, the end of all things is not a reason to be a bad person. We are still going to do good because it is the right thing to do. And we're going to help people, and, we're going to explore and have fun and maybe make some money along the way, even though it's all coming crashing down. And that's not to say that like everybody's happy, lucky unicorn, people get mad, people get upset. There's emotional moments for sure. But so that's the idea. There are no humans in Burn Bright. Everyone is an alien species that is super powered because of their anatomy and physiology. So there are all sorts of species. We don't have time to get into all 8 of them, but I will shout out 2 of my favorites. One is the Peacecraft. You play a larger individual, like you use like a large sized token, a 2x2 token in Roll20, and you are a mech that can pilot itself, but also your friends can like hop in and combine with you, and you can get all of these features whenever you're being piloted by a friend and working together with them. And there is also the Rornan, which is when you play a Rornan, you play a swarm of telepathic bugs that share one hive mind, right? And so that's really fun because you're moving around and you're telepathic. You might have some telekinesis, that kind of thing, and you can flatten yourself to move through doorways or build yourself into a rope that your companions could climb up. All kinds of things like that. So that's the basic overview. Mechanically, it uses a system that we created from the ground up. And that has been really fun and rewarding to see people play that as well, because the system itself is something new to RPGs that we really, really have enjoyed.
Let's talk a little bit about the system. What are some of the basics for it?
Sure, yeah. So Roll20, you have a skill-based character like you would in like Fate, right? You don't have big attributes like D&D. You have 18 different skills, 6 mental, 6 physical, and 6 social, and each one has a different die size associated with it. D4, D6, D8, D10, D12. The fewer sides your die has, the worse you are with that skill. So if you have a D12, you're really great with the skill. If you have a D4, you're not so good with it. And then every task that you go to complete with a skill, right? A task where failure would make things more interesting. You roll your skill die a number of times equal to the task's complexity. So complexity 2 task is pretty simple. A complexity 4 task is hard. And they go all the way up to complexity 7, right? You roll your dice, and if you have doubles, right? If you have match numbers, then you fail. Otherwise, you succeed, because Burn Bright assumes you're a competent hero. Like we see in many science fantasy stories like Star Wars, Guardians of the Galaxy, right? These people who can take on whole armies at once, even though there's only a couple of them. So it's that idea. And whenever you fail in Burn Bright, you don't just fail, you make things worse. And so you come up with story consequences with the DM. There's also a big table of 100 consequences you can roll on if you or your your GM doesn't have an idea about what you want to do. You can roll on that and check out the consequences for failure and make something fun happen. It's a great game because people love to fail in it too, which was one of our design goals. Like, make failure something exciting that people are like, oh, what's gonna happen, right? And so we did that with it, and that's fun. So yeah, those are the very basics of the core rules.
I feel like it's one of the best things that could possibly have happened to RPG mechanics within the last 20 years or so, to actually have a push to make failure interesting.
Yes, right? Because you're still playing a game when you fail, and so you still want it to be exciting, and even, dare I say, fun, if you can get there, right? It's when you're playing a board game and you fail, that's different because it's competitive, right? But for this, so many RPGs don't have a competitive bent. Some do. So it's good to be able to say, like, how can we embrace this so it's not just like, well, sorry, nothing happens, and that's boring. And it also increases the tension. There's good reasons in Burn Bright for having failure have a consequence and a cost associated with it, because we want people to feel like they're gambling when they make skill rolls in combat, and so that's a big part of it.
Nice. Well, if you can let us know a little bit, if we can delve into a little bit of the history here, what kind of led you to Burn Bright? How did you sort it out?
That's a great question. So when I was working with Roll20 at the time, I had created an adventure that's available for free. It's like a D&D starter adventure. It teaches you how to use D&D and how to use Roll20. They commissioned me to make it. It's called the Master's Vault. You can download it for free from Roll20 and check it out. And so at the time when we were working on it, I said to them, hey, this is cool, you all creating your own content, right? You have this platform where you sell Wizards of the Coast products and Paizo products and Chaosium and all this other stuff. Have you ever thought about doing it yourself? Kind of like Netflix, right? Used to have other people's stuff. Now they have other people's stuff and their own stuff. And they said, funny you bring that up. We do want to do that. And we want to create an original role-playing game. We're thinking sci-fi. Are you interested in putting together a team to work on it? And I was like, holy, yes, absolutely. And so I got together with the team, and we said, like, okay, we formed our team. What do we like? What don't we like? And we started to talk about exploration and how, like, in science fantasy, and we did fantasy because none of us are scientists. Well, actually, that's not true. Darcy Ross is a scientist.
That is true. Very
yes,
true.
but none of us are astrophysicists. And so we wanted to be able to do things without having to science them. So we were like, hey, if we magic them, it's easier to explain for us. So that was the idea behind science fantasy. And then similarly, the idea for the Burn came from fantasy and sci-fi are so mind-blowing in their expansiveness, and you can go to all these different planets, and you can we wanted to be able to keep the universe contained, so we didn't over-design it, and that's where the idea from the Burn came from our laziness, basically. But it's really the driving force of the whole setting now, and so I'm really, really glad we came up with it. And I should mention that Bright is spelled Bryte, because it's that's the term for an age in the game, right? So there's like the Age of War is called the War Bright, and the Age of Exploration is called the Exploration Bright, and so you're in the Burn Bright because it's the age of the Burn.
Awesome. Well, I got to squeeze in one more question, setting related, or even just creative process related, because I'm just too curious here. What brought you to decide no humans for this setting?
That's a great question. So that is something that Kat and Darcy and Jim really pushed for at the beginning. And the reason behind that, which I really love and agree with, is that if you have humans, right, every other species or ancestry in your setting kind of becomes a monolith in that they're compared to humans, right? So like we often think of elves as like they're like humans, but they live in the woods and they're graceful and they don't have as many they don't have as much diversity within them as humans do. And they wanted that diversity of personalities and cultures and things like that in every species. So that's what we did. In Burn Bright, every species has a home world and like a home culture that we talk about in depth, but we also say that like, but you don't have to, you don't have to have this culture. You could have grown up here or here or here, and we give you the tools to build your own as well.
Thank you so much for doing that, by the way, because that is something that is sorely needed in RPGs. I think, and just in fiction in general, really, to tell you the truth.
Yeah. And I got to give credit to the three other members of the team, because that was really, they were the push for that. But I am a true believer in that, and like I'm so glad we did it that way. And it's also the way the game works out, right? Is that like so much of what your character can do is dependent on their, what we would think of as humans' alien anatomy, that I'm not sure what I would really do for humans. You know what I mean? It would be like, hey, you're a human, so you're kind of good at everything. And that always feels bland in an RPG as well.
Yeah, definitely. All right, well, so folks looking for this, they should, go on Roll20 and do a search for Burn Bright? Is that what we're looking at?
Yeah, so it's available in the Roll20 marketplace. You can also go to burnbright.com. Roll20 built a special page for it where you can learn more there.
Excellent. Awesome. Well, thanks so much for talking to us. I really appreciate it. If anyone wants to find you online, where should they go?
So you can follow me on Twitter at James Introcaso and over at worldbuilderblog.com.
Excellent. Well, I'm going to throw things back to myself now, and we will catch you later.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
We have returned. What's happening?
Well,
I'm taking a nap. That's happening.
as we left, Naraites once again decided that the best thing to do while analysis was running was to go to his room and have some gum.
I mean, I felt really good the last time I had it. It was a really nice dream. And clearly the analysis is wrong because you can't do psych surgery by an oral delivery method. That's ridiculous. So I'm gonna just try it again.
So, Taste, you take a nap. You take some gum. You take a nap. I mean, which is like the thing that our parents have always told us don't do. Don't sleep with gum in your mouth. But here the hell we are.
I watched someone else do it and it was fine.
Yeah, it was
So,
fine. It was
we're good.
perfectly fine. And when you fall into your stupor this time, you're in space. You're flying along, and you are next to a void moth.
Oh,
It's like a banner moth, or maybe nothing, not a cinder moth. Nothing like that. Nothing super big.
hey, buddy.
And it looks at you. It sort of looks at you. It's looking at you because it sort of like turns, like it sort of like it does like an aileron, roll to turn to look at you, and says in this sort of like it's singing, but you can kind of make words out of it, and it says, "We have to get to salvation."
Oh, yeah, that sounds like a good plan. How can I help?
We have to get to the planet.
Oh, okay. I just kind of I look around like I'm gonna see the planet, whatever the planet is.
Well, we're not there yet.
Oh, okay.
We gotta get there.
Okay.
We have precious cargo aboard.
Oh. What kind?
Well, I mean, you silly.
Oh, yay. Cool. Uh, you know, it's sort of like I've always had, a great deal of affection for mods, and I like to pretend that that they return that affection somehow. Uh, and so this is just kind of like a little happy, oh, this is nice.
It's
Nice.
like one of those, one of those like, secrets of the Hexarch. The mobs, people say void moth, banner moth, cinder moth. Those mobs are mobs. They're mobs, flappity flap. They're big space mobs. They fly. You just attach things to them in your Nirai labs so they can fly around the universe.
Uh, I'm just enjoying. It's like, one of those flying dreams or whatever. It's like, oh, this is cool. Yeah, woo. I feel exhilaration and a sense of freedom and power. And I'm escaping terrible. I'm trying to remember like dream analysis stuff. Oh, it doesn't matter. I'm escaping the strictures of my daily life and feeling relaxed and chill and happy about it. And it's nice.
It's a wonderful vista. As you and the moth, and you're singing together,
Yeah.
and you're
Woo.
free.
Yeah.
You're on an adventure.
Yeah. This is great. I just think, it's like I'm kind of like on the edge of like, oh, this is probably a dream, but it's a really great dream. It feels nice. I don't get to feel nice a lot, honestly. I'm mostly just kind of terrified or bored most of the time, and it's just kind of wild swings between the two. This is nice.
When we get there, we can make our own community.
Oh, yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah, sounds great.
Just imagine like little cartoon mods going, "Yeah, bye, buddy!" Wee! Like just like good times.
Yeah, and then you and the moth, you take a fucking jump, along the along hyperspace, and then you wake up. And last thing you hear
Oh
is,
man,
you gotta get there. Precious
gotta,
cargo.
gotta get there. I just, and I like kind of wake up like, oh shit, and then I'm just like, damn it, I was about to see what gate space looks like, but uh, that's that was man, man, wildest dreams with this stuff. This is great. It's like I don't know what's going on, really. I'm not privy to a lot of all of this questioning and shit. I'm just like,
I love how Taste
like,
is having
man,
like a completely different game from the other two
oh yeah,
characters.
oh yeah. Taste is on a personal journey here. This, this is great. Okay, I just kind of pocket the gum again. I kind of check the time on my internal chronometer with my augment.
It's
How
been
long was I out?
it's been an hour. Your analysis comes up with the exact same thing.
Okay. Okay. Right. Back to reality. All right. I report my. I mean, I guess I'm also including the Rahal in this. Although I really feel like Duncan is kind of taking control of this entire investigation, so I'm kind of like treating him like the boss here. Except not like my actual boss because I was regularly pranking my actual boss, and that's literally why I'm here. So, um, I am much more afraid of Venona Duncan than I am my actual boss. But I'm gonna just call up both of you, basically, like just start a little group chat or whatever, and just be like, hey, I'm getting some really weird readings from this deeper analysis of the sap. I don't know. Like, some of this conspiracy stuff is like kind of infecting me. I'm like, I don't know if I should talk about it on this channel. Maybe we could meet like all together.
Hmm.
I'm sure Duncan is in the middle of an interrogation or
Maybe.
whatever. Maybe can't
Yeah.
answer right away.
Yeah, started
But
yes. Well, yeah. I suspect that the one most likely to listen in is probably, if he wants to, he's doing so already. Uh, if he wants to, I suspect they're doing so already. I suspect that
I
if they
I
want to, I
suppose.
suspect they're doing so already. Um, we'll need to sort of see what's happening. You want to come by? Well, we can try to find somewhere that's at least relatively private. We should probably
Not the clearly compromised interrogation room. Yeah.
yeah. I suppose we can try.
It's
You want
just
to?
seeing one death and one Shuos.
We can. We can do this. I suppose we can meet up in my quarters if anyone would like in the quarters they've assigned to me. If we'd like to do that.
Sure,
Uh,
sure. I'll be there in a few minutes.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna guess Hollow once again
Good.
that there's no gum in my mouth when I wake up. It's just gone.
Just gone.
Okay, it's just gone. All right. Well, uh, just kind of hold it up. I'm just like clearly uh two of these pieces have been tested to destruction. Uh, and they're simply part of the analysis. And I just kind of just pop it in my pocket, and I head over to Rahal Graydon's quarters, which probably aren't very far, I guess, if we were originally kind of cordoned off from the rest of the ship,
Yep.
although that didn't last very long.
Yeah. Although that also is helpful if this area was supposed to be kind of cordoned off to an extent. Um,
Well, I don't think it is anymore. I
yeah.
don't know, but yeah,
Yes.
and
You'll see that it's
I'll,
very neat in here. But I've got, except for like the work table where I currently have, like, I guess Is there a thing where like there'd be like you bring up holographic images of the different cards and things like that? Is that a thing we'd have
Sure, yeah.
access to? Or I've got like a sort of a holographic version of this game laid out, and I've been sort of just going through looking at it, and it's very it's a bit tricky, this one, because you got to switch roles, and so it's there's I've never really been and it just sort of stands up and just sort of greets you. I've never really been all that fond of deception. You probably have noticed that at this point. So it's just one of those things where it's I don't know that I'm going to do necessarily very well at this game, but that might be fine. I think that might be fine, as he's going to want to see how well we can how well I might take to it. Also, I think that it might, at the very least, be but if I give it a good honest try, I think at least he might respect that. I think they might respect that. They'll probably appreciate that, and I think it's a very, actually, the rules aren't that complicated necessarily. They're just a lot of different things you can do, I think, to sort of different ways. Depends on how you communicate what's going on, and so that is the situation. It's an interesting little sort of a semi-social type thing. I don't know if you're into that kind of leisure activity or not.
Oh, well, I play games sometimes, but it's usually the single player kind. I guess I don't really have a lot of
Oh,
friends.
I'm
Um,
sorry. Yeah.
but
Maybe mostly it was growing up. It was memory games, things of that nature. It was sort of more thing. But yes, you had. I don't. We sort of pinged Duncan to say, at your leisure, if you want, we're meeting in my quarters. Uh,
Duncan's just going cleaning. Be there shortly.
got it.
Oh, and another cleanup. Great. Okay, so I just take the little packet with the capsule out, because I've already taken the
What's
sample
this?
from the sap and everything. I guess Duncan gave me this
Oh,
from his first interrogation, which I guess didn't go very well. There was
we
some
already found something.
there was a mess. Um, but this has a
Oh, I
little, and
see.
I just kind of like, I don't touch it like it's all in the package or
Yeah.
whatever. But I just kind of like
Yeah.
try to, I like kind of like tease apart, like through the plastic or whatever. I kind of tease apart the little seam, and I'm just like, I took a little, I took a sample of this already, but I'm gonna guess that that this goo here is related to the analysis I'm already running.
Oh
Um,
dear.
Getting some very
Oh.
anomalous readings on this gum.
Hmm.
It's just some kind of psychoactive properties that I don't really understand.
Well, that's probably how they're overlaying the secondary calendar. I think that must be it.
Oh,
Uh,
you think they
I'm
can do that
guessing.
with gum?
Uh, it's certainly unusual. It'd have to be. I mean, it'd have to be some kind of a. It'd have to be something that works within the ship's local count, within our. It'd have to be, no, not local. It'd have to be a thing that works within the calendar in order to function, I would imagine. But
Well, I did see that kind of overlaid wave with my instruments earlier.
yeah.
So I suppose it's possible. It's just very strange. I know we
It's,
talked before. Sorry. Um,
oh, yeah,
I know we talked before about me maybe calling my superiors about this.
right.
Is that still something you and Duncan would like me to do?
We're going to need to. I mean, I think we need to try to get this up to people who know more about what's, might have a better idea what's going on. I don't see why not. This, as you know, we probably don't want to be operating entirely in a vacuum here if we can help it. Just we need to go outside of just this, the local this ship's command structure, if we can, in order to make sure that it's safe to do so, is all. Looking at the device that the little thing, the thing with the sap in it that got taken from the interrogation, is it like is it like a device, or is it just like a container, or?
In your best estimation, it has the same feeling to you as a person's mind.
Oh boy.
To you specifically, because you have the scribe power, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's got the same, that same somewhat permeable barrier that people's minds have that can give into your scrying ability, which is quite strange.
Like just the sap, or the sap specifically in this thing that it's
in this
inside?
Thing, like together.
Yeah. I'm looking at it and I'm like, I'll be damned. Yeah, there it is. I'm guessing they're creating some kind of a resonance off this. Is this a transmitter?
I can
Psychic
take some
transmitter.
more reading. Oh, psychic trend. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to pick that up.
Well, it's like a brain a little bit.
Oh.
I'm getting that. That's what I'm telling you. It's like.
Oh, okay.
It's like a brain.
Oh.
So it's like a mind. It's got that same barrier. And that would actually, if this is networking, it could be piggybacking somewhat off of the Kel network, maybe, but it depends on who's got the gum, I suppose.
To the engineer, it just seems like gum that's been over-engineered. To this raw hall, it's kind of got this thing you could press against, with your scrying. And Duncan, if it feels like you could subjugate this device to a remembrance.
Oh dear. Which remembrance?
Just it would be an excellent component for remembrance. The heretic component, sub in a heretic.
Oh, so if you're in possession of, this contraband that is a lie in the image of the calendar, like big H heresy. Like, if you are in possession of this, you belong in the next remembrance. We'll come up with a fancy title.
Right. It's just on a almost meta level, any heretic will do. Whether Duncan wants to recognize it that way is up to Duncan. But this feels like person enough to be a heretic.
The object itself.
Has Duncan made it here? Is Duncan with us?
I like the idea that Duncan is right as it's a mind. Duncan just kind of appears.
Terrifyingly quiet.
Well, isn't that just interesting?
Yeah. Did you? What was the going on with the Who were you interrogating?
Oh, the commander.
The
first officer.
First officer. Oh boy! Well, I guess your theory was right.
It's more complicated than that. The thing that you're they're fascinated with was on his person. And for some apparent reason, the first officer was a crash hawk
Ah,
and had gotten all the way to first officer.
yeah, interesting.
That shouldn't happen.
And he was the one with the. He was the one with this device disseminating.
Disseminating.
Possibly
It disseminates.
this psychic connection to those who, I presume, to those who have taken the gum.
So
Maybe
it's
the-
a networking device, this SAP.
I suspect. Well, that would be how they maintain the duplicate calendar. I'm guessing.
So something that small
Crash
could be
hog.
on any person, multiple people, locations, providing a supporting network as well as possibly masking individuals from perceptions,
Oh.
hiding intent.
I don't know if this is relevant, but there's a little more information that I found earlier, and I'm realizing there might be some connections. Maybe, don't know yet. But we're gonna need. I'm gonna have to try and get a hold of a couple of bits of calendrical wave info from around a couple of different fortresses. If I can get a hold of it, I think if we can look at the patterns and make a comparison to see if there's heresy going on. Yeah, there's a. Now, I don't know yet how connected this is, if this is connected. But many you folks heard about situations, the situation with what was it, the Bramble Fortress.
Troubled sector, yes.
Yeah, it's just kept happening over a period of time. So Kelvaris, who is the one of the parents of Kel Blaine, is known more recently for defending Bramble Fortress. It had several revolts, also, and known for having a flexible command approach. The revolts in question. Right. Remember, Kelvaris being a parent of Blaine was incarcerated for heresy. The nature of the heresy is currently been redacted, and just sort of been looking into that. But the thing is that that fortress has had trouble from this group called the Gua reality. You familiar with the Gua reality?
So not something that special.
Just
Sorry,
vagueness.
real low.
Something in passing, but not something I really know.
Now they conduct different business differently from the Hex Archet, but they sent dissidents to Bramble for like a decade, and things sort of blew up more within the last 6 months. they have different teachings. They do more sort of natural births, but it's I heard a thing that was, or rather, I saw a note that was apparently placed by a Vidona on it that educating the education they provide to them just doesn't stick. And the thing is, when I read that today, I was reminded a little bit of the nature of Crashhawks. I don't know if there's a connection here, but there may be, which is why I'm thinking it might be a good idea to get a hold of some of the calendrical data.
So this could be something concurrent with, or are you saying that a foreign force may be behind our current issues?
Well, I've been, like I said, I've just been looking for sources of heresy. I don't know if they're behind it or not, but there is the fact that one of the your first interviewee, their heretical parent, was heavily involved in the recent life of that fortress, and that's the most heresy that was taking place around that area. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, I don't like it. This is already with what the first officer did. I'm going to have to file a report that will likely lead to a larger inquiry, which I'm not looking forward to, considering that is a lot of people having to do a lot of work.
Oh yes. Well, that's the thing is that when we know it's safe to do so, as soon as it's safe to do so, I'm going to be filing a report, and if my mentor decides to pursue it, then we may be getting more visitors pretty soon, and of course they're going to be pretty efficient.
The problem is the individual who has perished shouldn't have gotten as far as he did. And unless there is a reasonable explanation as to how he was able to hide for so long, considering all the different officers he has been interviewed and tested by to get to his position, each one of them could be found at fault, if not hereditary, in said fault. So if we can find something that would explain how he was able to rise to his position, masking his condition, there is a lot of people whose lives are going to be ruined by this.
Yeah. Well, we can always look and see what we've got right now. I'm just going to while I'm having this conversation, I'm just going to go into my augment. I'm going to pull up the first officer and look at just take a look at the connection service record family and just sort of see if anything jumps out. If I can.
Of which officer?
Yeah. Caldanus are recently
Caldanus.
deceased.
Yeah.
I mean, not a perfect record, but a record commensurate with their duty. They have served on many ships under many different captains. They have served, they've done their time. They have an excellent service record. Some knocks here and there, not for anything surrounding insubordination, but mostly command choices. Someone marked a demerit saying, thinks too much like a damn shoeos.
Hmm. Okay.
Speaking of which, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, speaking of which, I almost hate to suggest it, but if there is redacted information that we need for this investigation, we do have I'm good with computers, right? But like, if you're asking me to hack a, Kel military vessel, I'm gonna say you gotta go to a Shuos.
I'm
So
not suggesting that, yeah.
No, there's ways we can hopefully get things through official channels, but at the same time, I'm going to perform my duty and continue with the interviews. But at the same time, something tells me that I'm going to find more crash hawks, more of those tiny devices, and more gum.
One quick thing. I just want to scan quickly the list of previous ships that that Keldanon served on, and I'm just looking for Unspoken Law or 10 Pattern Stone Strike. I'm just looking to see if either of those two are on the list.
No, this officer has not crossed paths with any of these suspect ships. They seem to have no lineage directly connecting to any of your very favorite Rahal Fowler.
No, okay, good. And
they seem to be very unconnected, except for maybe this gum thing you found.
Yeah,
they just happen to be a crash hawk who got way too far in their career for what they clearly are.
Yeah.
Actually, if you've got his record pulled up, could you?
Oh, yes.
Every single screening he's had, is there any pattern there?
Well, let's see. And I'm sharing what I find as I go. So I'm talking this out with these fellows while I'm doing this.
Considering what our suspect captain has said, I am now very he was screened. He's been screened multiple times and has gotten away with this. And I was able to pick up on him not abiding in the way that a Kel should. How the hell did he get past that many screenings?
Well, all of the screenings are formation screenings. So how well does the subject hold up against, deviations from formation instinct, which they have never failed, ever?
That shouldn't be possible.
Well, it might be possible if you've got another calendar that's just going to give the answer that the test wants, right?
Now, I will say that as Rahal, you're looking at his report, his psych surgery, their psych surgery, was done by a certain Nirai on a certain fortress. Now, I wasn't at that fortress, but
hopes, right? But their psych surgery. That's the one. Okay, yeah, I was going to ask about the fortresses, but it wasn't done on the fortress, but it was done by Nirai Wen.
Yeah, Nirai Wen was the attending psych surgeon for Formation Instinct insertion.
So there's this
injection.
moment just as we're looking down everything, I'm like, ah. Well, I'll be darned. I sort of move my cursor over and just sort of highlight and like, you know who did it? You know who did his? Who did their psych surgery?
Bringing it up. They're considering their rank and standing. Any accusation towards her is going to have to be airtight. The political ramifications otherwise would cause a significant upheaval.
No, certainly. Like I said, I'm
like, as I hate to say it, like Fowler's doings, while may not be in fact heresy, it is a bad enough look that he is not insulated, but she is. And this seems to be a very pernicious weed with very deep and spread roots. And she is a part of this now.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying that she's encouraging his, vendetta, necessarily, but certainly might. I don't know if she's helping him participate in it, but again, as I believe you're fond of saying, there's no such thing as a coincidence, right?
No, there isn't. And usually when there's something that is significantly and pervasively as wrong as this is, one cannot hide it from those that one is attached to. And any knowledge not reported is aiding and abetting. As much as I am certain that Mentor and those above me would happily go after Fowler, if she's involved with this, many will get cold feet unless there's enough evidence to be beyond the shadow of doubt that she is involved.
Well, I think right now the most evidence we have is they're in that bag, and just say pointing again to the the sap wielding device that Tace brought in.
Now, like staring at it, it feels significant enough to be prosecuted. It itself could be something that is sacrificed.
Yeah.
And I have this very sneaking suspicion that I'm going to find more of those little capsules.
Taste, you wondering? Do you know? You happen to have any thoughts on? This is. I realize this isn't exactly your area of expertise, but I'm wondering if there's if you had thought about. Let's say if you're trying to create some kind of a signal, and you need to do it there is a chance Graydon might be. I don't know if Graydon's about to reveal information that he shouldn't, which is interesting. There's a chance that he might be about to. Because I don't know, is it forbidden to talk in specific terms about things like for the Rahal to talk about things like psychic projection and like some of the nuts and bolts of like the any sort of like mental frequencies involved, that kind of thing, or is that okay to talk about?
It's well talked about. That in fact makes people fear you more. People are quite afraid of the fact that you guys can do what you do, and it's very well documented, and nobody else can do it. So it's like,
No. So where I'm going with this sort of is in my head. I'm like, okay, if I wanted to set up a thing where I was where I was casting a subtle frequency at people, is what I'm thinking in my head. So then I come back and I'm like, so Tace, if let's say that you were to put something at you needed to transmit at, say, a frequency of about, and I give a number that's clearly not normal like radio or whatever, but it's sort of outside the normal spectrums. But if you're just thinking about this, how many nodes would you need for something like that to be able to cover, say, the area of a banner moth? Like Shattered Skies.
Give me a minute. I kind of stare off into space and I like kind of throw some math into my augment. This seems like a basic kind of like a geometry problem almost. So probably something I can handle even if it's not really my specialty.
Yeah. You would think between, depending on the size of the broadcaster, if one would do it. You know, if you needed multiple broadcasters, then you would need about 7.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's gonna. There's so much we don't know, right?
Oh yeah.
We don't know, like if there is some kind of broadcasting network or whatever, we don't know what the range is, and so and the range would determine a lot. Right, you know, maybe if the range is 10 feet or whatever, then you need them all over the place. Or if the range is the whole length of a banner moth, then you just need one, right?
Yeah, that's fair.
So
that's fair.
In fact, since you're a moth engineer, you would know that for the sake of variable layout, one would be best because more would actually be more unreliable.
That does make sense. Yeah, that's certainly something I would bring up as a moth engineer. Yes, the variable layout would make the network shift constantly, and it might expose it to discovery faster. But if there was just one transmitter, then it wouldn't matter where it was. Maybe.
Okay, so it might just be that one, then. I just say, pointing at the bag again.
It's a lot of hypotheticals.
Of course, but I mean, that's what we have to work with here.
If this
calendar, great calendar, I must ask a question.
Yes. Calendify.
What is, great calendar, what is my range?
Well, you have a range effectively of line of sight. You need to see your scry target.
Okay. All right. But if I see someone and it's like, if I see like somebody a mile away, does that mean I can actually do it, or do I have to?
If you can catch them, yes, you could get them. It's about what you can see.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
The other thing, sorry, I'm just thinking about the book, like lore stuff. It's usually if they're trying to like really hardcore scry somebody, they bring in more Rahal, right? Like it's like a stacking or exponential effect.
It is an exponential effect with more Rahal. So if more Rahal can see, and you actually have, the Rahal have shouter moths that actually project scrying effects over large distances.
Oh no.
And you also have
network psychopaths like B5.
Yeah. So you have special moths for shouting propaganda and for scrying things, and lens moths for scrying better with multiple Rahal on one ship. So it's really how well can you see, how many Rahal do you have, and what equipment do you have access to?
About how many Rahal do we have on the Shouter ships, if I know that?
I mean, it's usually a full complement. They're all Rahal, so I mean, between 5 and 10, they're not big.
Right. Yeah. Okay. No, that's good. That's good to know. Taste. Does Taste mention the possible 7 number?
Possible. I mean, I could throw out some numbers
I'm
like,
just
you know,
curious.
oh, well, if the range was, you know, this, like here, you know, here are
Right.
some different scenarios. Like
All
here's if the
right.
range was 1, and then like, you know, if it was like more like, you know,
Yeah.
a medium distance, then you could probably do it
Right.
with
Right.
7. And I just kind of like I pull up like a, you know,
Oh.
hologram, one of your desk holograms
Yes.
or whatever, and I just kind of start drawing on it like a whiteboard,
So
and just like
yeah,
little like network nodes and stuff.
in projecting, when we sometimes we provide enlightenment projections, you know, on those ships where we do that, we have about 5 to 10 of us typically. So that tracks. If it comes down to it, I do take your meaning, though. It would be more efficient, especially just with the one, because if they didn't have to worry about efficiency, that would of course be the worst possible situation.
Redundancy
Yeah.
is the best cover. So you have a central host, and then you have personal devices that can emit a similar field and interface with the central transmitter, is what I'm personally going.
Oh, repeaters like the fortresses.
Yes, there is a central hub, and then each personal device can act as a repeater.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, I see.
I'm not sure how to. I mean, I can, again, super not my specialty. I'm not sure how to measure the range and transmissions of a device that operates on a frequency that, an exotic effects frequency that I am deeply unfamiliar with. And I apologize, but
Well,
th-
no, it's
this
understandable.
is this is something, again, this I know we discussed it a little before and we decided to go in a different direction. This is something I could kick up to my superiors and ask for more information. Just, you know, so maybe give them a little info. I've got some anomalous readings and stuff, and ask
You're,
what to do.
Case, you're a moth engineer.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
So, you know how our augments are networked throughout the month.
Yes.
Is there a frequency that you could, studying this sap more and this fake calendrical, well, this imposter calendrical effect, that you could produce an interfering wave, an interfering transmission, essentially causing static on their line?
That's like you see Taste get like kind of light up at a really interesting problem. I'm like, that's a really good question. Are you sure that you know you weren't going to be seconded to the Nurai at some point? Trying to be kind of chummy, you know. No,
I
that's
taught
a
a
good
lot
question.
of Narai. That's why I'm no longer teaching.
Ah, yeah. Well, okay, so I do have the reading. I have the reading that I got from the original, you know, from Graydon's, you know, the weird overlay reading. I could try to correlate that with, you know, I could, now that we have we have a theory, we have a working theory, right, on how this thing works. it acts sort of like a mind. Maybe I can just like, run some like very, very wide spectrum scans and see if I can pick something up. But in the meantime, I guess, how do I put this? You saw the simplification, right? The graphic simplification on my device. The thing is mimicking calendrical properties very closely. So I would worry, as a non-expert, I would worry about accidentally doing something very bad to our own, reality if I were to try to interfere with this.
Yeah, but just think about, in that case, could you isolate your interference signal to a specific section of the ship?
It's another good question. Maybe a short range transmitter, if I can figure out how to transmit. I, that's that would take me a while. Take me a little while to see if that's something I think is within my capabilities personally, and how to implement it.
Well, while we're still in this space and still on this line, great. Again, I have a basic understanding of every section of the hexarchy, but I do not have the expertise. In transmit,
Yes.
would you produce a nightmarish-like effect?
Oh, easily.
Okay, so with that knowledge, combining both
I
of your
suppose.
efforts, could you essentially make a localized nightmare feel?
Oh. Well, I have to ask to what end, really, because if you're
I
trying to
want it so
scramble
that
this,
anyone who is using this heresy, that we have a means of interfering with their usage, essentially an external way of spoiling their product
I can
and
understand
making
that.
it so that
Yeah.
those who are abusing it show very clear signs of use.
I suppose, yeah, there are some things we could, Tace and I could put our heads together and start figuring that out. But I want to make sure that it would be confined to the bogus calendar. You understand?
Oh, I
Because I
understand,
don't want to disrupt that. We absolutely don't want to disrupt the real one.
but I'm going to be seeing everyone likely multiple times. If you can produce this and make it so that this interfering frequency causes some form of interference or spoilage of someone who is on this product, essentially causing a psychological instead of chemical reaction to essentially get them to vomit mentally. Like all of a sudden they're affected by a sense of fatigue, panic, something that is visceral and clearly visible.
Oh, I
It
see.
would
Well,
make finding them A, easier, and B, if this is an instance that is forgiven by our superiors, or one where they do not want us to use terminal sanction, be a wake-up call to those who are participating in this.
so we're looking at, but yeah. So I see. So the point there, just so that I make sure that I understand what you're getting at here, is that we'd be disseminating this nightmare signal in a way that
Localized
only
space.
those who, yes, in a confined space, presumably, interrogation, but only in a way that that those who are affected by the duplicate calendar would be affected by it. Is that
React. Yes.
react to it? So yeah, it's can we split a hair that finely? Do you think? I say to Tace.
I don't know. I need to run some calculations.
Hmm.
Do you need
That's-
a test subject?
I don't think we're even there yet. I really this is some pretty gnarly theory. And it's I mean it's been a few years since the academy. Um, I I will see what I can do.
Well, if I'm able to find more individuals with gum, of
Mm.
course I will take the gum. And then anyone who is already in processing, you can use as a human test subject.
All right. That sounds
Excellent.
fair. I just
I have
don't.
I have one thought of a thing we maybe might be able to try. It's probably not going to be entirely safe, but I just need to think about this. It's a thing I could try right now, but you're gonna need a few prompts here. This is gonna sound like a ridiculous question, but does anyone have thought about what is the opposite of gum? What?
Gum is
Go
something that is physical, chewy,
sticky.
dense, but at the same
Right.
time, it is pleasurable for the individual.
Right.
The inverse of that, at least in my mind, if I'm thinking of still of the same extent product, not a true inverse, would be a gas that is deeply unpleasant to the individual, but pleasant to the rest of the group. Think of it like an allergy.
Mm,
An allergy sounds like the opposite of gum.
an allergy.
A stinky
Something like-
aerosol.
Yeah. Or
Your
some kind
your augment lights up great and it says, "I am hiding in a place that is deep and enclosed."
I just sort of straighten up for a second. I'm like, apparently it's game time.
Well,
Is
I will
this something
leave
we
you
should?
to your game then?
Is this something that we should also be learning? Like, is it, or was it specifically you?
Oh well, he
Thanks.
offered it to all of us, but yeah.
He offered it to all of us, but it's a
Okay.
shoe-ups.
Yeah.
We are backups. Would this fail? So we should go in with absolutely positively no knowledge. Otherwise, we'll be contaminated in the eyes of the shoe-ups. So
Oh.
it is best for the both of us to leave immediately. I wish you
Oh,
good
okay.
luck. And
Run from the shoes. Run.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really want to be anywhere near the show either. So I'm just sort of like, is this something? I'm curious about the game. These are rules that I could also pull up, right?
Yes.
In privacy. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like I might just like I Tate's kind of in a bind now, right? Because but it's not that much of a bind because they're asking for something which sounds impossible to me. I am not a genius, scientist of of the calendar or whatever. This is way out of my league. So I can kind of put some things together. I'm curious about it. Obviously, I want to know if it's possible because that'd be cool as hell. But given my own involvement and also just the fact that I am probably not smart enough to do this, I don't. I would want to slow walk it. So, but I would throw some calculations into my augment and just kind of let the numbers crunch for a while.
Well, I mean, the
Before-
first thing your augment kicks back is, wouldn't the best place to test this would be a place where the calendar isn't?
Oh. I mean, yeah, probably. But we can't really do that. So just ignore that parameter, I guess.
Before everyone is dashes out of the room, I will just say all right, I can try the other thing later then as maybe a last resort.
Excellent. Let me know how the game goes.
Yeah.
I hope it goes well, and that there are not unforeseen consequences.
No, the help of a shoeos is the help of a shoeos.
Yeah.
Unforeseen consequences.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh
Right.
man. Oh man. I kind of want to take some more gum, but I'm not gonna. Not gonna right now. I'm not.
Already developing a nasty habit.
I only have like 3 pieces left, so I'm just like, no, I gotta ration this.
They will be walking around the ship trying to bum gum from people.
Hey, you got any more gum? Yeah. No, I'm gonna start running some basic calculations, but like, I mean, that is a really good point about like, hey, it would be a lot easier to do this if we were outside the calendar's reach. I don't actually know where we're going, do I? It's a secret mission,
No,
right?
no.
So like, I guess I'll just kind of. I'm gonna try to get a baseline. I'm just gonna leave all my instruments, just kind of pulling data, just see if I can see any more blips like the one that I saw during the interrogation.
Sure.
And
Some things that come back. So the things that come back from the grid almost immediately was cause a cylindrical spike to show off the to directly show the difference in the wave between
Mhm.
the calendar and the false calendar as it's saying in its variable calculations.
Yeah, another one that would get me in huge trouble. So probably not that either. I just tell it to ignore that too.
Yeah, the grid is a Kel warm-off grid. It's like, do something outrageous.
Do something crazy. Yeah. Yeah. No, that's not gonna fly either. I gotta do something within the parameters of our own calendar. Which is I don't know if it's possible. I'm running these calculations because someone told me to run these calculations, but I do not have strong confidence in whatever comes back.
The calendar is built with intent. Spike the new calendar, as it puts new in quotation marks.
Oh, well that's a better suggestion. Thanks, Grid. But no, I just I talk to my tools. That's comes from being isolated a lot. Due to my off-putting nature. So but I would need a much better understanding of the secret calendar, the new calendar, in order to spike it. So I guess, like I said before, just like leave all my instruments recording
Sure.
for a while and just look for maybe over a long enough time period I can tease out some more blips, some more differences.
Yeah. You can make a roll if you'd like, along with your calculation to represent your effort.
I have literally never done this before, so walk me through it.
You start with
three. Okay, start with 3.
And then you start tagging things like locations or edges that would, help you. That would possibly help you in this situation.
I could potentially tag both my signifier and my other existing edge at this point because the edge I am good at computers is I am working intensely with a computer.
Sure.
And my signifier, the downward burrowing moth, I think would be interpreted as tenacity or possibly tunnel vision. I am relentless in search of answers. When I get my teeth into something, I don't let go.
Especially gum.
Especially gum. So how many other dice does that give me if I tag both?
I'll give you 5 dice. Sounds like
5 dice totally. Okay. So, and I am rank 1, so only 1s are successes, and I have to watch out for 6s. Oh shit! Okay, I gotta reroll that one. 0 successes, 1 6. But the 6 doesn't mean anything unless I get a success, right?
Yeah.
Got a 3, a 6, a 2, a 5, and another 3. That does not help me. So yeah, I'm kind of coming up empty right now. Like there's just is not a whole lot for me to go on here, and this is like the kind of thing like a whole ass like Nurai team, a whole science team would be on for upwards of a year or something back in civilization, and this does not. I can't do anything without contacting my superiors, but I've kind of been, maybe not directly instructed not to talk to them, but like, oh, it's a conspiracy, it's a conspiracy, anybody could be listening, anybody could be watching, but I'm starting to lean more toward I am going to need to call somebody, but I'm not going to do it yet.
Okay. Graydon, what do you do with your clue?
Okay, so I just want to make sure I got it down right. I'm. What was the phrase again? Is that I'm hiding in a place that's...
Oh.
What was it?
So I am hiding in a place that is deep and enclosed.
Is deep and enclosed.
Yes.
Okay. And let me just check the... I gotta check how this game works. Again, so it's one of 10 locate. Do I know what the 10 location cards are?
Yes, you do know the 10 locations, so I'll give them to you.
Okay.
Location 1, the fortress at Candle Arc.
Okay.
For location 2, the Bramble Fortress.
Oh, fuck.
Location 3, the Obsidian Spire.
Okay.
Location 3, the Ember Rose Garden.
Location 4 is the Umber Rose Garden?
Yeah.
Okay.
Location 5, Hellspin Fortress.
Hellspin Fortress.
Well.
Location 6, the Star Crystal Fields.
Okay.
Location 7, the Glass Keep. Location 8 is called the Black Cradle.
Black Cradle. Oh, no.
Location 9 is Shuos Citadel, or the Citadel of Eyes, as some people call it. And number 10 is the Kel Formation Chamber, the chamber where Kel instinct is trained and tested.
So, of these, I know the Black Cradle is deep and enclosed because I remember that from the book that I read. Would the Kel Formation Chamber be considered a deep enclosed type thing?
The Kel Formation Chamber would be. You wouldn't call it deep and enclosed. You might call it a few other things.
Yeah.
The only other places that might fit that description would be. Let's see here. Would be the Obsidian Spire. It's controlled by the Onden, but it is a dark, imposing tower. But it is elegant, but dark and imposing at the same time.
Okay.
And the Fortress at Candle Arc, which is a known location for a famous battle, but it's now a desolate monument.
Okay. All right. Okay. Good. All right. So, let's see. So I've been given a clue. The Phantom must provide a clue to the hunter. The clue can be truthful or misleading. And would I know if they've used an action card or not?
They have not used an action card.
Okay. So the next step is I now use the provided clue and any prior knowledge to guess the Phantom's location. And so I write down their guess and I reveal it.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So, of those, honestly, of those three, the one that seems to me the most deep and enclosed would probably still be the Black Cradle.
Okay.
And so I'm going to write that down, which for those of, I don't know what's publicly known about the Black Cradle. You
have no idea. I mean, you only are going off a guess. You're like, the fuck is the Black Cradle? But you're about to find the fuck out.
Yeah. I guess Graydon is going to, oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. Is Shuos Co looking for out of character information? Is that what's happening? Is that the heresy? He's looking for information that the character gets from its player. I think that okay, so Graydon doesn't know what the Black Cradle is.
But it sounds imposing. It has that feel to it. The description for the Black Cradle is a place that is shadowy and vast and known for its oppressive atmosphere. Its walls are lined with crystals that absorb light, creating an unsettling ambiance. The air is cool and still with echoes of distant, untraceable sounds.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, I think that I think just given from the description and the three descriptions, I guess Graydon will go for the Black Cradle. So he's going to write that down, and I assume we're doing this over our augments.
Yeah.
And so since I just got it, and so it'll say it'll write down and reveal the Black Cradle.
He's and there's like a little almost like chibi Co goes, you got me. Oh no.
Oh.
And it says the Black Cradle. Yes, I am in a place where ancient whispers linger in the darkness. I am in a place where Hexarch's secrets lay to rest, will also get up to walk.
Oh. That's very creative. That's very good. That's very good. Interesting. Oh no. Oh crap. Oh no. Secrets. Okay. Unfortunately, Graydon has now become more interested in the concept of the Black Cradle because of this. Okay.
Duncan's like, my whole fucking crew, man. What the fuck?
All right. So, I won the round, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And the roles are switched for the next round. So I guess I have to be the Phantom next, and it's 5 rounds. Or how many rounds are we going?
It's as many rounds as you like, honestly. You can stop now.
So what I will do, what Graydon will do, Graydon will feel it's looking at the rules. He'll feel it's only fair if he gives Co a chance, right? And he wants to be a proper playtester. Unfortunately, so uncomfortable though he is with it, he'll be like, "All right, so oh great, no, that was good. those are very good, and just as like feedback is a very good descriptions, very very creative. Should we go again now? Is that do
Well,
we
yes,
switch
but now I hunt you. You are the phantom.
of course. All right. Well, let's see. I think that okay. I'm sorry.
You're good.
I'm going to I think we make up the clues, right?
Yeah, you make up the clues based on what you know, but I will drop you all of the location cards so you can pick one.
Oh crap.
Let me just grab them.
You have the cards?
Well, I don't have them printed, but I definitely have all the cards like written.
Because I was thinking I knew which one I was going to pick, but go ahead.
Because I think about this world too much.
I'm saying, this is our first official live playtest of this game. The tie-in media. Anyone interested in tie-in media is watching.
If you're interested in tie-in media, I'm building it as I go.
But unfortunately, I'm realizing that Graydon might be about to pick a place based on if he wants to find out if what Co knows about this.
Sure, you could always try and throw Co and just pick a random place. That's all. That's fun too.
Oh, that's a possibility. Let's see. Do. Need to look at this note real quick because the thing happened.
There you go.
Oh, okay. Let me just find the. Let me find it. Where was it? It's not there. Okay. One moment. There it is. Okay. There it is. Okay. Oh, excellent. Okay. Oh, and we're eliminating them as we go. Okay, I see. All right.
The problem with playing Shios is you also have to get into game design, which is actually a course in Shios Academy.
Let's see. Okay. Sorry, I'm just making sure I look at these. Oh. I think I actually now looking at these. So the thing is that Graydon is a little predictable. So for this round, he's going to. Shall I tell you what I'm picking?
No, you can just tell me
the
a clue.
Okay,
Yeah, give me a clue.
Give me a second to. Okay. All right. I am in a place where realization dawns for those agile enough to find it.
Hmm. I think you're in the Bramble Fortress.
Uh, do I hang on? Let me make sure I've got my phase correctly here. All right. Do I say now?
You could, or you could, if you want.
Yeah.
If you haven't, if you I didn't really put the action cards out there, but so you can say if you want, you're in the Bramble Fortress.
I am not in the Bramble Fortress.
Oh. I was hoping you weren't as predictable as possible, but silly me. Looks like you're getting away.
Huh. Imagine that.
Well. Well, I'll have to think on this. I'll meditate on this. Well, if you need help with something, I suppose I can offer my services. And even though you are talking augment to augment, there's still this kind of like the way that they write feels as if they're like, well, they're giving like a ta-ta, like, sort of like, and they drop a file on a email file, like a file onto your like, your digital doorstep.
Yeah. Oh, that was good. That was good. That's a very interesting game. Did he do I get the sense that he let me win that?
Maybe. But maybe a little bit, but maybe he was also hoping for something.
Yeah, yeah. Oh. There's a file sitting there though. Shall I? And no one's around. And it's just sitting there. And I must get to the truth. It's vitally important to me that I get to the truth. I will look to is there a title or anything? Do I know what this file is?
It's not. It's just a single black file.
Huh. Oh. I have to open it. I can't not open it. I have to see. I have to know.
Yeah. It is a 1-to-1, like all the missing redacted parts of Blaine's like family file.
Oh boy.
And how they are tied to a project that is connected to the Black Cradle.
Blaine's family?
Yeah.
It's connected to a project connected to the Black Cradle.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
Yep. They are basically, Kel High Command has been obsessed for the past 200 years with creating a good general. The best general.
Uh,
And we have just ventured off into G.I. Joe. They
Well,
want to make Serpentor. That's what you're telling me. They want to make Serpentor.
if Serpentor was really cool and suave, then yeah.
uh, oh,
Oh boy.
I know too much out of character about this.
Yes.
But probably not enough though. Not as
Not enough. Yes, Kel Command's been obsessed for the past 2 years with making a better general. A flexible yet loyal general.
a flexible but loyal general.
How you do that is yoga.
Uh,
Maybe a little
And-
Pilates.
yeah.
Get a little
Yeah.
Pilates princess in there, you know?
Oh my god.
Okay. And it's funny because I get very my character doesn't really know what the deal is with that, but that apparently it's the Black Cradle is a real place is like the first thing that he thinks. And
Yeah, the Black Cradle is a real place.
yeah.
It is supposedly a Narai Kel joint project.
Mm.
It's like a black site, if you will.
Yeah. And therefore, and so Blaine's family committed heresy related to this?
No, Blaine's family is just connected to all of this stuff with the Black Cradle. You can't actually see there was no heresy committed, just processing. They just have been labeled for processing, but that really means recollected for study.
Wait.
Hmm.
Labeled for process. And again, forgive me, the processing that it says they were labeled for processing. Does the processing, when you say the processing, are we talking about standard processing procedure, or are we talking about Black Cradle stuff?
That's what it would say on the surface, but when you look at all the redacted stuff, all the stuff you definitely should know, that really just means they were collected for study. They were recollected for study. They've been out. Now let's bring them back in. You know, let's see what our
recollected for study.
Yeah.
Oh God. And no details, I suppose, about
No.
when this study began or anything like that.
Oh no. It's not that juicy. It's not that juicy.
Okay. That is a problem.
Yeah, I know.
However, that's a definite Narai Kel joint project. That's oh God.
We do those all the time.
There's a oh yeah. Yeah. I am willing to bet. I'd have to dig to find this out, but I'm willing to bet I know who's involved on the Narai side of that project. But oh boy. Yeah. Does
They want a flexible general. I have a feeling that Narai Win might have opinions.
Yeah. Where does it say where this Black Cradle is by any chance?
It does. Okay, well, it does and it doesn't. Can you solve a complex math problem?
I I feel as though I can't, but I think I know who can.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
And I think the last thing we're gonna see, I think, for me at this point, because I assume we're sort of in the throes of wrapping up here, is that Tace is gonna get a quick message from me that just says, "Would you be interested in solving another interesting, complex math problem?"
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Just put me in, coach. Throw me at it. Yeah. Math.
And
Good time.
yeah, that's I'm gonna
Put me in, coach.
Yeah. That sounds like a great place to wrap up.
yeah. Are we yeah. Is there anything else we need to know at this point? Are we good?
No.
All right. Okay. Well,
Curiouser and curiouser. The mystery deepens.
with every episode, we're delving deeper and deeper into things connected to more and more things, and it is both terrifying and wonderful at the same time.
Yes.
Well then, we're going to go ahead then and do our outros as we sit here pondering this terrifying thing. And feel free to tell folks where they can find you and any final thoughts you have about this session, any favorite moments or what have you. And once again, we are starting with our calendar. Hollow.
Hey, I'm Hollow. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm having a wonderful time running this. I'm also having a wonderful time watching Pope's face as he just no, as everyone falls deeper and deeper into nonsense, and Madonna Duncan is just constantly playing the man with the plan who's on the straight and narrow. Nothing's bad happening to me. I'm just doing my job. And meanwhile, unknowingly, my two compatriots are just oh no. I love it.
This is awesome. This is truly awesome. Did you have anything you want to plug, or let folks know where you can find you?
Yeah, I'm here on Tuesdays. I'm also Sundays, weather and life willing. Weather, hurricanes, internet, and whatever else life willing. I am also on this channel on Sundays at 5 p.m. Eastern, doing another very different game. Very different game.
Very, very. Also in space, but more about it's more about feelings stabbing you, really. I think, than anything else. Although plenty of feelings stab us here, it's just a very different. That's because there's a terrifying spiral here that we're seeing. It's fine. Everything's fine. I'm sure everything's going to be fine in the fullness of time. Good Lord. But and I just love that this whole time our calendar has been sitting here casually chewing gum.
Just a little gum.
Yeah, just a little. Mm-hmm. Sure. Yeah.
Harmless.
It's gum. That's fine.
Gum can't free you.
No, of course not. But and we're going to head over to Ewan.
Sure. I'm Ewan. You can find me nowhere in particular. I am just happy to be here, having a great time. I'm just doing my job. Nothing bad's happening to me. It's all good. It's all good. I'm just trying to keep my head down and keep it attached to my body right now.
Yes.
Because I am working with two technically extremely dangerous people, and really skating the edge here. But doing my job. Nothing bad's happening to me. That's where we're going tonight.
Yes. Zero bad.
Zero bad. We're good.
Everything is fine. Excellent. Excellent. And finally, we're going to head over to Pope.
Hey everybody, Pope here, Pope World Build on the internets. If you want to see more of my silly face, bit of a lull, so definitely catch me back here on Tuesday. But with this time I will do some plugs for others. Definitely check out tomorrow night, weather and internet permitting, over on Laugh Love Lindy. Some more of their polite society all going wrong from one man's philandering, massive amounts of philandering. There are too many people in one manner who are related to each other. And if you want to see something completely different, but no less messy, I suggest you check out Laugh Love Lindy tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern. And then over on Praxagora Thesmophoria, I know that's a lot of letters. On Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, you can see some Dark Ages vampire, but for a good cause, as they are doing a one-on-one between Prax and Trooper, raising money for Fisher House. So definitely, if you can, stop and by. If you can give, even better. And if you can promote, please do. But until next time, take care of yourselves, one another, as you are just as much part of this as we are. No story is without its audience, and you are it. And this, I am looking forward to where this goes next, as this is such a unique and inspired dystopia, and I'm looking forward to seeing the other shoes starting to drop.
Yes.
It's gonna be raining shoes pretty soon.
Yes.
You need the reinforced umbrella.
Yes.
Many.
Wait for
many
the other
shoes.
shuos to drop.
Ah!
I do not bring that on us. Do
No.
not put that out there. No.
One Shuos, why not two?
I do not need the wet work version of a Trouble with Tribbles. Thank you very much.
Okay. Well, that that leaves me. Once again, I'm Jim Ryan. You can find me at OtherDoc on Twitch, YouTube, and most social media platforms. Wherever I'm not OtherDoc, I'm Jim Yes That Jim. My website is jimyesthatjim.com, where you can find my Geek Observation podcast and links to my various other podcasts, audio dramas, writings, and such. If you're watching live on Twitch, then down below you can access my website, social media links, YouTube channel, and various other things. On Thursday, if Lucci's available, we're going to be he'll be here and we'll be doing more abject adventure gamery. We'll be playing more old Infocom games. We're going to continue with Starcross, which has been a lot of fun so far. And then of course on Sundays we have the aforementioned other game that's in space, Sadness in Space, Alas for the Angry Void, that reskin of Alas for the Awful Sea. We had some interesting revelations a little bit last time, as for one of the folks, at least, it sort of talks about a lot that's been going on, and it was actually a 5-year callback to a different campaign, as it turns out, but. where we had a recording left over from a dead relative was played. And so I'm very interested to see kind of where we go. Not many sessions left on that campaign. Only a couple probably. And so we're gonna see where things go. And then of course Tuesday evenings we have more of this, and I'm just going to be delighted to see what happens as things continue to spiral. But when we hit the end card, we're going to go send a raid over to somebody. There are a few different folks we could raid right now. Do we prefer an official starship, an independent starship, or a bunch of vampires? I'm wondering. Do we have any opinions on that?
That's a strange and varied choice. Let's see here. We'll do this like gamers and roll a d3.
Ah, okay.
So it is our unlicensed group.
Okay, we're
ships.
going to go and say hi probably then to Magi RPG. They're currently playing Scum and Villainy. So feel free to hang on if you're so inclined and say hi to them with us. Again, that will be when we hit the end card. In the meantime, folks, thank you all for watching. Take care, and we'll catch you next time. Farewell.